Good morning. Welcome to Falcon High School's 2015 commencement ceremony. Would everyone please stand for the presentation of the flags, the national anthem, and the posting of the colors. Please remain standing until the color guard has left the floor. Thank you.
Graduates, you may be seated.
As Zone Superintendent of the Falcon Zone, it is my pleasure to introduce the distinguished guests seated on our stage. Mr. Matthew Wentz, Falcon High School salutatorian. Mrs. Cheryl DeGeorge, Falcon High School principal. You gotta stand up. There you go. Mr. Steve Oberg, assistant principal. Mr. Drew Cleveland, assistant principal. Mr. Randy Hinson, athletic director and assistant principal. Mr. Dave Kennedy, Falcon High School teacher and senior sponsor. Mr. Dave Krantz, Falcon High School teacher and senior sponsor. Ms. Lisa Blocker, Falcon High School teacher. Mrs. Davelin Edgett, Falcon High School teacher and senior sponsor. Mrs. Heather Cipriano, Falcon High School teacher. Mr. Chris Anderson, Falcon High School teacher. Mr. Peter Hiltz, Chief Education Officer. Mr. Mitchell Carroll, Falcon High School valedictorian. In the back row, Mrs. Erica Mason, Curriculum Instruction and Assessment Administrator for Falcon Zone. Mr. Brett Ridgway, Chief Business Officer. Ms. Amber Wetstein, Executive Director of Learning Services. Mr. Zachary Craddock, Executive Director of Individualized Education. Mrs. Tammy Harold, School Board President. Mr. David Moore, School Board Vice President. Mrs. Marie Levere Wright, School Board Secretary. Mr. Chuck Irons, School Board Director. Mrs. Kelly Estep, Counselor. Mrs. Amber Villani, Counselor. Mr. Greg Morris, Counselor. Mrs. Kimberly Leone, Meridian Ranch Elementary School Principal. Mrs. Melinda Keck, Falcon Elementary School Principal. Mr. Brian Smith, Falcon Middle School Principal. And Mr. Kevin Butcher, School Board Treasurer. Thank you to all of them for attending and participating in this auspicious occasion. Also, thank you to Mr. James Devine and Mrs. Carrie Seidel for the wonderful music you will hear, and to the fine Air Force JROTC students and their sponsor, retired Colonel James Turner. Thanks to all the Falcon High School staff members for attending, and especially to senior sponsors. Angela Andrews, Robert Berkeley, Dennis Brickner, Heather Cipriano, Davelin Edgett, Josh Flores, Gina Henderson, Alan Johnson, David Kennedy, David Krantz, Matthew McLuhan, Kathy McCullis, Connie Michaels-Lip, Bobby Streibel, and James Turner for their support of the seniors this year. All right, I got through that. So I see the sea of happy faces out there of the students. This is a big day. And looking above you, I see the happy, proud faces of parents and family that are here. Some looks of relief, a few looks of shock, not many, but there's a few out there. But you made it. Congratulations, seniors. The size of our graduating classes at Falcon High School have really grown throughout the years. Students, you're going to be sitting for a while, so I'm going to have you all stand right now to go through a little exercise. So if all the seniors could please stand at this time. Yeah, you guys got to stand up here too. All right. So just to kind of show the transition over the years, you got to listen carefully or you'll be embarrassed at the end, okay? So if you started in Falcon as a junior or a senior, go ahead and have a seat. If you started in Falcon as a freshman or a sophomore, go ahead and have a seat. If you started your career in Falcon School District for the first time in middle school, have a seat. If you were in Falcon as a fifth grader, that was your first year, please have a seat. If you started in Falcon School District in fourth grade, have a seat. You really have to think back to when you started here. If you started as a third grader, have a seat. We see a few dropping every time. Second grade, have a seat. So if you started in Falcon School District as a first grader, have a seat. So those left standing started in kindergarten or preschool or were not listening. So you can absolutely see the transition over the years. So congratulations, and congratulations to you that have been here so long. Go ahead and have a seat. So I'm really looking forward to hearing about all the great things that these 284 seniors are going to accomplish in the years to come. All right, seniors, a few more speeches, one quick trip across the stage, and it's over. Congratulations and best wishes.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you your Falcon High School Class of 2015 salutatorian, Matthew Wentz. This young man has attended school in the Falcon School District since the 5th grade. In his spare time, he enjoys baseball, hockey, and hanging out with friends. He is a part of Peer Mediation, Link, National Honor Society, and plays on the Falcon High School baseball team. Next year, Matthew will be attending West Point, where he will be majoring in mechanical engineering. Please join me in congratulating the son of Matt Wentz and Lillian Barone, the 2015 salutatorian, Matthew Wentz.
All right, my fellow classmates, after 4 long, hard years, jam-packed with embarrassments, successes, failures, highs, lows, ups, downs, and everything in between, we finally made it. So I'm not gonna lie, After reading the program for today's graduation, I really didn't want to come. I saw the valedictorian and salutatorian were giving speeches, and who wants to listen to two nerds getting up here and talking? Then I was informed that I was one of those two nerds, so I'll try to spare you the pain and keep this short, sweet, and to the point. There are 284 of us graduating today, and I feel like I hardly know some of you, something that I truly regret. I also regret knowing far too much about some of you too, though. High school is an amazing time, and from what I hear, it only gets better at college or in the real world. As today marks the end of high school, it also marks the beginning of a new chapter in life, one where we are free to make our own decisions, reap the rewards for those decisions, and suffer the consequences for those exact same decisions. It has been said that our generation will be the laziest yet, and to that I say this: we may play hard, but we also work hard. It is said that in the 4 years of high school, people change, and regardless of the changes we have faced, somehow we have all found a way to be here today and graduate. I would like to think that we have all gotten bigger, stronger, better, and yes, maybe even a little smarter too. Life is a test, and we have one shot at it. It is the only one that truly counts. There are no redos, even if we do it in the 2-week window of when we receive our test back. However, that might depend on which version of the grading system you look at. As we move forward, I believe it is important to look to the old wise men of the past. As the great philosopher, what's his name? Pitbull, that's it, once said, "Every day above ground's a great day." Let us take this advice and apply it to our own lives. Life isn't about making the most money or owning the biggest house. It is about doing what you love with the people that you love. It is about going to work every day and loving what you do. Don't be afraid to fail. We won't always win or get our way, but we can't let the fear of failure hold us back. Be hungry for success. Be hungry to make a difference. If people say that something is impossible, that's a good thing. It means that it hasn't been done yet and that we can be the first to do it and show those people that they were wrong. But most importantly, we have to keep in mind that if we want to be successful, there is no way around hard work. As we grow older, we gain responsibility. Like every generation before us, we will become the new future of America. We are faced with decisions that will make or break us as a nation. We have inherited a debt larger than any other in the history of the entire world. We will be asked to provide for the elderly under a social security system that is failing. We as a country have experienced a decline in our morals and values. Unfortunately, our great nation is gaining the characteristics of the powers that no longer exist. As the future of America, it is our job to turn this country around and stay in existence. We must create the solutions to the problems that our generation didn't cause. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the parents, the teachers, the administration, Bradley Sane, and everyone else for helping us get to this point today. We truly appreciate everything you guys have done for us. And finally, if you remember anything from this speech, let it be this: God gave us two ends, one for thinking and one for sitting. Our success depends on which one we choose to use more. Heads we win, tails we lose. I would like to say go Army, beat Air Force, beat Navy. Class of 2015, congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please join me in welcoming our District Chief Education Officer, Mr. Peter Hiltz.
In education, we often get opportunities like this to speak to crowds that have never seen you before, sometimes to students that have never seen you before. And so a rule that I heard when I was in high school was be sincere, be brief, and be seated. So I'm going to take that guidance. I'm not going to offer you a poem or 3 alliterative points. I'm just going to say one thing. You're going to go out today and make mistakes. Matthew encouraged you to have the courage to fail. And if you have the courage to fail, you will fail. You're going to make mistakes. And so I offer you a single piece of painfully earned wisdom. When you make mistakes, when you stumble, and you will, when you try your best and it isn't good enough, when you say the thing that hurts your friend or your parents, the one thing I want you to do is do the next right thing. You are going to screw up. We will talk to you a lot on this day about your future and your promise and the courage that it takes. But we forget to tell you what to do when it doesn't work out. And there will be days when it won't work out. So I encourage you, when you've made that mistake, you've overslept the appointment, perhaps you did something that didn't live up to your own personal character, you've hurt a friend, you've ended a relationship, whatever it is, there'll be a moment where you'll know you didn't get it right, and that's your chance to do the next right thing. A lot of times, the next right thing is going to take the form of an apology. Get good at saying you're sorry when you haven't done the first right thing, but then go and do the next right thing. Sometimes, the next right thing is going to take the form of accepting an apology when someone else has let you down or failed you. But do that hard next right thing. And some of you are going to get a chance to put this into practice today. You're going to go out at a party with your family. You're going to say something. You're going to do something. You're going to drop something. If you're clumsy like me, you might break something. Take responsibility. Admit what you didn't do right, what wasn't done right to you, and take that moment to do the next right thing. And over time, you will string together a series of right things that will become an amazing legacy. That's our vision for you. I encourage you to go out, make the mistakes, take the risks, and when it doesn't work out, do the next right thing, and let us honor you for that. Thank you very much.
It is now my extreme pleasure to introduce your Falcon High School class of 2015 valedictorian, Mitchell Carroll. This young man has attended Falcon High School since his freshman year. He enjoys running and swimming as well as working outdoors, whether on his bike or in the yard. Religion is an important part of his life, so in August, he will be leaving to serve a 2-year mission in Santiago, Chile, after which he will attend Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah, to study mechanical engineering. Please join me in congratulating the son of Chantel and Jay Carroll, the 2015 valedictorian, Mitchell Carroll.
I'd like to start by speaking for everyone and thanking a few people who have helped us get to where we are today. Parents, teachers, staff and faculty, SparkNotes, Schmoop, Khan Academy, Lit Charts, Yahoo Answers, and of course, Google. At first, I had a difficult time preparing my speech. There are no prompts or any guidelines for me to speak on, and yet everyone expects it to be funny, inspirational, and motivating all at the same time. I had no idea how this would even be possible, but it turns out Google has 46,600 different ways to do this. However, as I looked through them, they all recommended choosing a theme and a meaningful quote. But to me, that sounded like a typical day in Miss Blocker's class. And I didn't spend my time preparing this speech to give you your last English lesson of high school. So here's what I have to say. We've accomplished a lot of hard things in high school. I'm not going to lie, it took me about a month to figure out that to turn on the hand dryers, you don't have to press that little silver door in. But not everything was hard. Freshman seminar or Miss Rohr's class, for example. Of course, I'm kidding, Miss Rohr. But high school is over, and based on what we've heard, now just everything will be hard. I've been thinking about this a lot lately and how it feels. And then one day while I was driving, listening to the radio, I unsuspectingly came across a line from the great poet Swift that does well in putting this moment of our lives into perspective. It reads, and I was planning on singing this, but I kind of forgot the tune. Okay. We're happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time. It's miserable and magical, oh yeah. Tonight's the night we forget about the deadlines. It's time, uh-oh, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. So you're probably wondering why I'm up here singing, and it sounds pretty silly, but honestly, I can only think of one reason why we shouldn't feel 22. We're free if you count having no option but to pay for your own food, apartment, clothes, insurance, and taxes as free. We can be happy. We're definitely confused, and for those of us not going to UCCS, we're about to be lonely. So I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22 and it kind of sucks. So far, my speech has come basically word for word from this piece of paper. Spoiler, there's no more Taylor, but I want you to listen to this part because it doesn't come from this paper, but rather from my heart. We made it. But what does that mean? It means we started high school 4 years ago and that we're still breathing. And to me, that doesn't mean much. What really means something is where we go with that breath, what we do with that piece of paper we get when we cross the stage. So I guess my challenge for you is to find where the steps off this stage will lead you. Go there. Do something that's meaningful to you. And then, maybe then, we will know what it truly means to have made it. As if you won't hear it enough, congratulations, everyone. Thank you for listening, and for the sake of my speech, we made it.
Hope when you take the jump, you don't fear the fall. Hope when the water rises, you build a wall.
Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope when everybody runs, you choose to stay.
Hope that you spend your days and all that up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup.
Thank you to our choir and our band and all the wonderful music that we've had today. As I stood up here, somebody asked me last night at a party that I went to, well, if you thought about what you're going to say today, and I thought, I used all my great-grandmother's and my grandfather's words of wisdom last year. But I'm going to share some of those again today and just remind you all that perseverance makes all the difference in the world. The great prize comes when you persevere to the end. Also, knowledge is power. Don't stop learning today. Take every opportunity that you have to learn something new every day. As I thought about this class, I thought we christened a brand new stadium together. Very, very exciting. All of our sports teams did extremely well this year. Our music, our clubs like HOSA, FBLA, DECA, We had people going to regionals, state, and on to nationals. This is truly an amazing class. And I have to tell you, I've been blessed and honored to have 2 years with this group. They are going to be missed. At the 8th grade continuation ceremony just a couple days ago, we talked about Falcons and what Falcons do, and the staff here at Falcon High School, I think of us as the Falconers. Our job is to take little fledglings as they come in as freshmen and to teach them to be faster, stronger, smarter, and to fly ever higher. You are fearless. You are fearless. Don't forget that. Sometimes then when you get out into the world, it's a scary place. You have learned to be fearless. Do that. Soar, oh so high. And one thing that I want to say as a character of this class has exhibited more empathy than any class I've ever seen. I read a study not too long ago, and it said that over the last 20 years, empathy among incoming college students has decreased by 30%. Those stats are about to change. I can't count the number of times that a student randomly walked up to me and said, "Hey, Mrs. DeGeorge, you look like you need a hug today." I've gotten lots of hugs. I also know that this class, through the senior leadership in Stuco, took on a challenge for a young man in need. Their goal was to raise $1,000 to help that family. They raised over $7,600. Yeah. The mark they have left on Falcon High School will not be forgotten. They have shown others empathy. They have shown school spirit that we have not seen in a long time. And they will continue to be strong, fast, fearless, and to soar ever so high. I will miss you guys. If I can ask Mr. Peter Hiltz to join me at the podium. Mr. Hiltz and Falcon School District 49 Board of Education, I certify that all students who cross the stage today and receive their diploma have met the requirements for graduation as set forth by the State of Colorado and School District 49.
Principal DeGeorge, the staff of Falcon High School, but especially to you students, it is my honor and privilege to accept these members of the class of 2015 as graduates of Falcon School District 49.
Will the first row please rise? Okay. Line up. Mitchell Hicken Carroll.
Matthew Barone Wentz.
Wyatt Thomas Aberg.
Bailey Gabriella Adams.
Jacob Allen Eshelman.
Trevor Lee Alexander.
Patrick John Aldridge.
Brett Anthony Bolin Anderson.
Curtis Michael Ashcraft.
Danielle Elizabeth Alino.
Faith Nicole Otten.
Bryce Edward Bagby.
Sina Alicia Martel. Hinkle Delgado Boudreau.
Jacob Earl Lorray Beaver.
Abby Elizabeth Berg.
Catherine Ann Bernal.
Marquise Nathaniel Berry.
Kevin Daniel Blair.
Justin Lee Blevins. Shane Ward Bora.
Eddie Robert Bratton.
Madeline Ilena Brewerton.
Miles Aaron Britton.
Jeffrey Tyler Brocious.
Anna Victoria Brozak.
Mia Cheyenne Bruno.
Cheyenne Paige Burley.
Megan Lynn Bialski.
Amanda Joan Camerati.
Catherine Ann Camerati.
Hannah Marie Campbell.
Jamelith Cardona.
Andrew James Carr.
Isaiah Christian Ceballos.
Donovan Caroline Chaffin.
Jacob Christian Sharon.
Liam Zachary Chun.
Kayla Nicole Cisneros. Brandon Charles Cross. Kevin Joseph Cross.
Catherine Elizabeth Cooper.
Noah David Corsten.
Austin Kyler Coverdale.
Amanda May Cowan.
Katie Ann Gutierrez Creasman. Natalie Jean Dagan.
Tavares Alexander Daly.
Rebecca Grace Daniel.
Imani Zakaria Daniels.
Adrian Carol DeBush.
Alfredo Alejandro Delgado.
Alexander Lee Dorfler.
Miranda Bailey Dolzman.
Ashley Paige Dubois.
Dion Jacob Duran.
Jordan Bernard Durbin.
Colin Lee Dyke.
Ashley Renee Edick.
Bianca Nicole Ellis.
Jordan Madison Evans.
Joshua Stewart Quintanon Fahey.
Shane Angelo Falzone.
Hannah Nicole Felice.
Dale Michael Fenton.
Ethan Daniel Fahrenberg.
Melanie Marie Finley.
Zachary Michael Fiore.
Brandon Marquise Fisher.
Dominique Marquette Fisher.
Kiana Brooke Fitch.
Samantha Christine Flatley. Sierra Jade Flores.
Pete Charles Freza.
Trenton Patrick Gage.
Evan Michael Galaz.
Nicholas Grant Gale.
Ryan Daniel Garduno.
Gerardo Gayton.
Zachary Reynolds Gebhardt.
Zachary Torin Gillespie.
Thomas Bradley Gilman.
Adam Daniel Glavitz.
Sabrina Melissa Gordon.
Cora Dell Gottby Hewitt.
Wyatt Miles Graham.
Asia Lakea Graves.
Keely Rochelle Gray.
Logan Richard Gregoire.
Josiah Addison Hall.
Joshua Edward Holliday.
Bailey Michael Hancock.
Cody Luke Hancock.
Austin Riley Hand.
Abigail Ruth Hands. Sorry.
Trent Russell Harding.
Elizabeth Marie Harwig.
Xavier Dewan Hayes.
Natalia Jane Henselman.
Cynthia Hernandez Escobedo.
Harrison Craig Hebert.
Cheyenne Taylor Hill.
Michelle Elizabeth Hofstetter. Kylie Danielle Hooker.
Kyra Dawn Hughes.
Alexis Brianna Hunt.
Jessica Lynn Husted.
Sydney Renee Huval.
Amanda Elizabeth Irons.
Benjamin Lloyd Jackson.
Leaf Thomas Jacobson.
Zachary Patrick Jewell.
Tyler Joseph Johnson.
Tristan Joseph Johnston.
Rain Jaden Jones.
Natalie Jenna Juvera.
Alyssa Courtney Carl Crabtree.
Ryan Austin Keese.
Tiana Elaine Marie Keogh.
Caitlin Michelle Keller.
Brooke Anne Marie Kelly.
Casey Brooke Kohlinger.
Ashton Kaylin Kuno.
Brendan Michael Lacey.
Isaiah Michael Lane.
Kenyatta Antoine Lattimore Jr.
Emily Carmen Louise Laurie Monroe.
Heather Kiana Leach.
Joseph Dean Layton.
Kenneth Desmond Julius Lester.
Dustin Raymond Allen Lippincott.
Sean Nicholas Lavici.
Victoria Marie Londono.
Rachel Marie Longberry.
Ethan Norman Looper.
JB Dasegan Lukes.
Sarah Christine Lowe.
Emily Elizabeth Lucky.
Joshua David Lukens.
Kirsten Ashley Mandeville.
Michaela K. Mangrum.
Brendan Matthew Mangum.
William Ray Monriquez.
Brandon Joseph Margatich.
Emily Christine Martin. Brian Taylor Mason Cup.
Sherry K. Matsky.
Joshua David McAtee.
Jasmine Michelle McCormick.
Fallon May McDermott.
Grant Alexander McGlamory.
Haley Christina Lane McManus.
Aspen Rose Miller. Samuel Anthony Montalvo.
Bailey Virginia Moody.
Megan Lee Mooney.
Faith Ashley Moragas.
Giovanni Emmanuel Morales.
Mia Kathleen Moras.
Michael Lewis Murdoch.
Kendra Margaret Nance.
Caleb James Neary.
Mackenzie Ray Nelson.
Keever Thorin Nelson.
Garrett Allen Nethkin.
Nicholas Kamen Niederfer.
Christopher James Nixon.
Gabrielle Felice Norris.
Caitlin Leanne Nottingham.
Emma Nicole Nowlin.
Jacqueline Jeanette O'Neill.
Cameron Victor Obert.
Allison May Oleen.
Garrett Nelson Orth.
Annalisa Brianne Olette.
Christopher Lee Packard.
Emmanuel Lawrence Perino.
Ariana Pedranzani.
Cody Lawrence Peel.
Cheyenne Lee Pennington.
Hunter Christine Peterson.
Jacob Rocky Pilling.
Christopher Joseph Poyer.
Thomas Eric Polk.
Nathan Allen Prestwich.
Gabriel Estefano Montalvo Quezada.
Brandon Michael Ralph.
Tommy Ray Ramirez.
Dakota James Reeves.
Zachary Tyler Reinhardt.
Danielle Marie Richer.
Madeline Geneva Riggs.
Jacob Daniel Rivers.
Catherine Eloise Roberts.
Joshua Caleb Roberts.
Jared Daniel Ronco.
Trent Douglas Ross.
Adam Joseph Roosh.
Aubrey Justin Pereira Russell.
James Everett Rui.
Dylan Kenichi Sadler.
Bradley Jonathan Sane.
Sydney Rosella Sandberg.
Kaylee Renee Sargent.
Allison Christina Surratt.
Brandon Michael Savin.
Savannah Marie Schiller.
Brittany Danielle Schultz.
Andrew Irvin Schimpf.
Brianna Riley Schmidt.
Emily Rosemarie Schroeder.
Barry Dwayne Scoville.
Marissa Rachel Cerna.
Tiffany Nicole Shaw.
Annabelle Mercedes Sierra.
Sharif Shamor Smith.
Stone Douglas Smith.
Dominique Amina Snow.
Jacob Alexander Solberg.
Brandon Joshua Sun.
Derek Tyler Spencer Thompson. Brandon Zachary Starnes.
Jeffrey Lynn Kenji Stevens Jr.
Jacob Allen Sturgis.
Ryan Christopher Robin Sullivan.
Dylan Lee Sutton.
Adrian Boo Talaine.
Quishon Gerald Thomas.
Amelia Gabrielle Thompson.
Emma Kaylee Thompson.
Peter Thrain.
Rayvon Colin Timothy.
Austin Brian Toussaint.
Quan Phuc Tran Nguyen.
Kayla Shalom Travis.
Hunter Matthew Tootin.
Zachary Ryan Varga.
Jeremy Alexander Vargas. I'm sorry.
Natasha Mishaila Vasquez.
Jeffrey Thomas Fella.
Sean Lewis Vecchio.
Madison Paige Waldman.
Christina Mary Venuti.
Madison Grace Walker.
Alec Michael Waldron.
Matthew Jordan Weber.
Joshua Landon Ward.
Maura Marie Wells.
Chase Bradley Weldy. Robert Pryor Wilson.
Juliana Catherine Wright.
Austin Bryant Warbington. Minori Yamshita.
Okay, I will never be short of smiley faces again, And we have paper for days. The budget thanks you.
You're almost done. The tassel is the only ornament crafted that has lasted throughout history. It is an item that ties loose ends of yarn together and has been used to adorn many things, including clothing and uniforms. The tassel was very often the status symbol that differentiated people in the military or religious fields. Cords with tassels were used dating back to the 14th century to represent levels of learning, which is similar to the type of academic regalia that we still have today. Tassels were also used in the past on keys and other furnishings, creating an art form, now dressing up interiors all over the world. Today, the tassel is used in graduations and other ceremonies, both for differentiation and unifying purposes. The graduation tassel attached to a mortarboard for a school or college represents a belonging to a particular class that has completed its goals. Tassels on the cap most often are the color or colors of a particular institution. These tassels represent your membership to a special group of people, Falcon High School alumni. Seniors, please stand and face the audience. Parents and guests, please join me in congratulating the class of 2015. To signify your completion of the graduation requirements, you may now move your tassel to the other side of your cap. Congratulations, you are now high school graduates. Staff, at this time, if you would please exit and line up for the graduates to exit after you. Thank you, Tavares, for not throwing your cap. All right, guys, like we practiced yesterday, first row.